There's an island called Okunoshima in Japan that's filled with tiny bunnies. My uncle went to Japan, and a man liked him so much he made him out of sushi. Beautiful sea glass found in Japan. I will chew on these until I have no teeth left. I will never get over the fact there are reverse weebs in Japan that are obsessed with the Wild West. Japan does not sugarcoat their clothing sizes. Size, fat. Japan's got the wildest TV shows. Japan is a very modern and advanced country. Japan's technology. I just found my favorite Japanese word. Kushibachi. When you're not hungry, but you eat because your mouth is lonely. Bamboo forests of Japan. Bamboo has a vibe that nobody talks about. I'm 6'5" and decided to visit Japan, thinking about how Japan makes Pokemon ambassadors of things. What kind of Doritos do they have in Japan? Japan bans visitors from screaming on roller coasters at reopened theme parks. Japan has made a gun called Speech Jammer that can stop people from talking. Pretty sure a regular gun can do that too. Wonder where the enemy protagonist is. Enemy protagonist. Who is this? He actually looks badass. A Japanese homeless person. Fluffy Japanese pancakes. Have you ever craved something that you've never had? Because that's how I feel about these pancakes. If you need me, I'll be at the Pingyu Museum in Japan. To celebrate the rice harvest, artists in northern Japan create giant animal sculptures from leftover rice straw. 39-year-old Japanese man was arrested for dating 35 women at once, just to get more birthday gifts. A herd of deer relaxing by cherry blossom trees in Japan. Society of Dads went to therapy. Salt Labyrinths by Japanese artist. This is extra hardcore if you're a snail. Japanese police use a tactic called that, where they throw balls of paint to help track people in cars that flee a crime scene. We do something similar in America, but instead of paintballs, we use guns. Look at this river in Japan, completely covered with cherry blossom petals. I'm in love. I would walk into that tired, thinking it was a carpet. Kawachi Fuji Gardens, Japan. Gift packaging in Japan. The most satisfying part was when she only used one piece of tape. You know, I wish I could do this. What 60 feet of snow cleared in Japan looks like makes more sense now. Japanese high school students demonstrating precision walking. Japan made newspapers with seeds in them so they can become plants again after use, and that just made my entire day. A demonstration of the ancient Japanese whistling arrow used to intimidate enemies and communicate with allies on the battlefield. Japan's first lady avoids talking to Trump by pretending to not know English for 2 hours. This is what Japan thinks what American chicks were. A Godzilla museum opened in Japan, and they are planning to add a zip line that lets you fly into his mouth. So Japan has a chocolate brownie McFlurry, and to say I'm jealous is an understatement. These special little squirrels can only be found on an island in Japan. Mountainous axe with heart-shaped holes and bronze-reinforced shaft. Japan. Brutal murder, but make it aesthetic. Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. In Japan, an AI system designed to distinguish croissants from bear claws has turned out to be capable of identifying cancer cells. This is a Japanese raccoon dog, and I want one immediately. Monster 14-foot squid washed up on beach. Another tragic loss for the Japanese hub industry. Be right back, moving to Japan. McDonald's introduces Mega Potato in Japan. Meanwhile in Japan, Pizza Hut has a mascot called Cheese-kun. Raw meat, Japan. You look like an American character in a Japanese game. Japan is going to allow scientists to create human-animal hybrids. Scientists in Japan build a robot to hold hands with lonely people. French pigs be like, oink. Japanese pigs be like, oniku. American pigs be like, stop resisting. The climate change fight should be sexy and fun. Japan's new environment minister says, what? Let the man speak. This Japanese sable, running on snow, must be protected at all costs. Japanese engineer creates creepy spider nightlight that walks around your house at night. Dinosaurs, consider yourselves avenged. A Japanese spacecraft has landed on an asteroid and fired a bullet into it. It is estimated that 100,000 Japanese people disappear without a trace every year, many to save their honor after a divorce, job loss, failing an exam, or death. Okay, but where are they going? When you hear a Japanese word and you understand it without needing subtitles, then you go to Japan and realize they're speaking without subtitles. A demon flattening someone out and preparing to cut them into noodles. Japanese Hell Scrolls, 1855. Oh, to be rice animals smothered in Japanese curry. Japanese artist creates erasers that slowly turn into an old bald man as you use them. Dying is not an option for me until I get to go to the sheep cafe in Korea. During the winter in Japan's Shiga Highlands, you'll find Japanese snow monkeys, also referred to as snow babies, making snowballs. The cat is trying to get into the Japanese art museum and is now immortalized on a tote bag in their gift shop. This is the Japanese emperor caterpillar. So what you're saying is, Facts. This little guy runs Japan. Japanese school in anime versus in real life. In 1999, Japan redesigned its flag. When I tell my girl I'll change for her. New sushi restaurant dresses their sushi up to look like cute anime-styled punk rock stars. Live. Look at this. Look at... What the fuck? When a thief stole a 400-year-old Japanese bonsai tree, the bonsai master gave out instructions on how the thief could care for the plant so it doesn't die, as he felt it was his child. Shinjuku at night. I cannot read fucking French. Japan. Seriously, where else could this possibly happen? Did you know restaurants in Japan use monkeys as waiters? These monkeys get bananas as their salary. Airport staircase in Tokyo, Japan. It's funny because if you fell down these stairs, then Pikachu would look like such an asshole. Japanese museum takes care of lost stuffed toy for 30 years, still hopes to find its owner. They don't want you to know the truth. This place in Japan, this literally looks like walking through a dream. Japanese woman caught stalking police officer who arrested her for stalking someone else. Japanese husband has gone 20 years without speaking to his wife since she replied "come in" to his knock-knock joke. Japanese officials investigating mysterious fear that washed up on beach. Imagine if Japanese people saw Americans and were like, OMG, this is giving me King of the Hill vibes. I am going to start a VTuber company. None of these cute girls or soft anime boys, just pure muscular Japanese cartoon men. They will all speak like early 2000s English dubs, calling sushi hamburgers and pretend like Japan doesn't exist. Did I tell you about a white dude at my school who apparently learned Japanese for the girl he liked, but the girl he liked was Chinese? Time for Japanese. Today you will learn how to save your family. Japanese death row inmates are not told their execution dates. They wake up every day wondering if it's their last. Mario Kart. Bucket list. Go to Japan and do the Mario Kart thing for real. Japanese YouTuber caught an octopus using a figure as bait. The largest and most populated city on earth, Tokyo, Japan. Imagine what a hellish city this would be if it wasn't exclusively populated by Japanese people. My Japanese mum said if she got on America's Got Talent, she would pretend that she doesn't support my comedy career and no longer speaks to me to give me a solid backstory. She said she'd plan a dramatic moment where she calls me for the first time in 5 years. I love her so much. Met a really cool Japanese man in the bar and we talked all night using Google Translate. Sorry, it's time to go home today, but the time I spent with you was a lot of fun and I was happy. Let's meet again. I love you. A 74-year-old Japanese man dressed up as a ninja and possessing great physical ability carried out 254 break-ins worth $260,000 before he was caught by police. Japanese First Lady made a surprise visit to Pearl Harbor. Japanese are big on surprise visits to Pearl Harbor. Japanese designer creates a pencil sharpener that turns into a frilled neck lizard when you use it. Japanese meme image about male fragility and female fragility. A prehistoric 80-million-year-old shark recently discovered in Japan. Time to do what I do best. Are you going to Japan again? A single Japanese radish gives enough energy to a human being to walk 28 feet. The second radish is 29 feet away. I found our world's keyhole and it is in Japan. North America got the massive Sasquatch. Mexico got the dreaded Chupacabra. Japan got fat snake, fat bitch. Do not bully her. Why in Japanese anime do none of the characters look Japanese? Because anime characters are cats. The goal of manga anime was neither Japanese nor Caucasian. The theory that if you pursue cute, it resembles a kitten. No matter how you look at the profile knows, it's not a human. Apparently you can buy Minecraft Let's Play DVDs in Japan. About to go fight. I'll post the video after. I got my ass beat, bruh. I'm not posting that. This mirror portrait was taken 100 years ago in Japan. Japanese cat water cake is taking over Twitter in Japan. Japan to release radioactive water into sea. Japan was quick to start selling these. I believe Japan doesn't yet understand Christmas. Newest trend in Japan is to shave dog's fur into cubes. Why am I not surprised, Japan? Technically all anime girls are flat-chested because they are 2D. A retired baseball field turned into a neighborhood in Japan. In Japan, often broken objects are repaired with gold. Me, in Japan. Taste the TV. Japan invents lickable screen to imitate food flavors. Pearl Harbor has to be an inside job. No chance a Japanese plane could have flown this far in 1941. It can't go the other way. No, the earth is flat. This is basic knowledge. I also appreciate the logic that planes can't fly over land. I got the word jacuzzi from Yakuza, confused. Now, I'm in hot water with the Japanese mafia. Recently I found out what the Osaka airport mascot looks like, and I want to cry because I love him so much. Did you know Japan's flag is also a pie chart of how much Japan is in Japan? Absolute brilliance. My friend went to this place in Japan that advertised fun with lapras, and this is what she got. Decommissioned kids' rights. rides on a scrapyard, Japan. The council. You stand before them after you die, and they decide if you go to heaven. Osaka Aquarium just stepped up their gift shop game with these fat seal plushies. Chumbi. Kyoto University in Japan allows students to wear whatever they want to their graduation ceremony. Yes, I am glad the West ran out of cat memes, so now we have to import them from Russia and Japan. Are we not going to talk about the fact that Twitter name translates to cat-chan? Japan. For a long time, I've wondered what I find so alluring and strangely human about Japanese urban scenes, and then someone tweeted it. Japan doesn't have on-street parking. There's a Japanese legend that says your present face is the face of the one you loved the most in your past life. It's probably just a myth, but I think it's beautiful. A sink is built above the toilet for hand washing. The water drains into the toilet tank to be used for the next flush, and it saves millions of gallons of water each year. Kano Jigoro, the legendary founder of judo. Despite being a smaller man, he could toss large men with ease, but only after persistent study and practice. On his deathbed, he asked that he would be buried in a white belt instead of a black. He wanted to be remembered as a learner, not a master. Japan has been promoting trash collecting as a competitive sport and will host the first ever World Championships in Tokyo in November 2023. In Japan in 1968, 4 bank employees were transporting 300 million yen in the trunk of a car. They were stopped by a young police officer who claimed dynamite had been planted in the transport car. When he crawled under to check, smoke came billowing out. They ran away. The officer then got into the car and drove away. The case remains unsolved. Did you know vending machines in Japan are programmed to release free drinks or can be switched to dispense free water in case of an earthquake, storm, flood, or other natural disaster? Socks and sandals. Socks and sandals, Japan. Born in Japan 1751 and died in July 7th, 1977 at a grand old age of 226. He was the oldest koi fish ever recorded. Japanese tech company set to release a human washing machine that cleans, massages, and dries you in under 15 minutes. That sword name was forged in the Edo period with the wish that it would repel evil and demons and create a bright, clean, and peaceful society. With a total length of 465 centimeters and a weight of 75 kilograms, it is believed to be the largest sword in Japan. Context: lost my phone in Japan and it was found, sent back by a Japanese friend. This is way too cute. Ho ho ho, Merry Christmas. I'm back, so glad to be home. The world's deepest postbox is in Japan. It is 10 meters underwater. I don't know how they have so many flavors. Okinawa, Japanese world's largest tug of war. Okinawa Island has more than 450 people living above the age of 100 and is known as the healthiest place on earth. Orange peel map of Japan. Japanese zoo puts cute animal versions of animals in the habitats. One penguin becomes so obsessed with the anime girl that he stops eating because he doesn't want to leave her. You have 3 nukes. Choose where you want them to explode. This is interesting. Bus drivers in Japan have gone on strike by continuing to drive their routes while refusing to take fares from passengers. Japan is on another level of its own. Strikes that won't affect the people, but the corporations that own the buses. Good one. Reportedly in Tokyo, local gangs have started using drones to transport drugs across the city. In response, the police are using net-carrying drones to try and capture these packets mid-air. The gangs are counter-attacking with their own net drones to try and drop police drones. In a statement with the Tokyo police, they said they haven't had this much fun in years. Japan Airlines serves $100 worth of manga in Japan, $100 worth of manga in America. This is the best welcome sign I've seen. Come and slam and welcome to Japan. The Game Boy Advanced was released on this day in Japan 18 years ago. Today, he becomes the Game Man Advanced. Japan, let's draw our characters cute. America, let's draw our characters as the most horrid looking people ever to exist. When you combine a Russian and Japanese, this happens. This is not Japan, but they're constructing a forest city to combat global warming. Pretty cool. Restaurant in Japan tries to make dining alone less awkward by seating people with giant stuffed animals. Shall we order dessert? No thanks, I'm stuffed. Japanese AI bot with the personality of a teenager develops depression. Japan men then. Mongols have attacked my country, done stuff to women, and killed my men and children. I shall bring justice upon them with my sword. Japanese men now. Japanese mysterious fish delightfully collects its head at airport. 2 Japanese men walk into a bar. The first man says, I am Japanese. The second man says, I am also Japanese. The bartender says, well hey, I'm Japanese too. The bar was in Japan. Must be why everyone is speaking in English then. This is a dubbed text post. I know people are making jokes, but this is a serious situation. In Japanese culture, prime ministers, even former ones, are considered important figures and assassinating them is a serious cultural taboo. Murder is is actually really frowned in Japan. It goes against the traditional concept of which means to live. Yeah, but I honestly can't be asked reading this. I also broke my rib yesterday at the time of recording this. I got like an electric scooter with like 25, I think it was like 22 miles per hour, and I just fell and landed on my rib. Subscribe if you feel bad, because like I'm supposed to be getting like loads of pity now. So subscribe if, yeah, you feel bad.